Welcome back to the show. My name's Mark Nixon. Canada was once a country where only one income earner would be able to buy a house. I know that sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? And they would also be able to have a family. They would actually have enough money left over on one income earner to take their family on a vacation. Can you imagine that? Today, real estate is a luxury collectible item. Healthcare? You're on a wait list for sure. And our Canadian youth have straight up given up on having a family. Why? Is because our wonderful managers in Ottawa believe giving up prosperity for progress and call it transition. I call this whole thing managed decline. In today's episode, we're going to look at Scott Moe that says elbows up is a terrible idea. Why is he one of the only people that get it? And we got an update from Mark Carney, and he is, get this, playing bocce in Hamilton instead of parking himself in Washington, D.C. and not leaving until there's a friggin' trade deal. And some more top stories. Let's go. Elbows up isn't the right approach to deal with Donald Trump, says Saskatchewan Premier. We could have all told all our premiers. This is the first time I see a premier come out and said, elbows up is not the greatest plan. Let's hear. This is a radio clip, so we're just going to be able to hear what he says.
Do you think the Prime Minister can still say he's elbows up in this negotiation based on what we've seen?
I've never thought elbows up was the proper approach with respect to negotiating. I wouldn't say just not with anyone, but with the United States. First reason, they're our largest trading partner, traditionally our largest ally, and when we find our way through this, what is a challenging conversation. They're still going to be our largest trading partner and probably still going to be our largest ally as we increase our military investment to keep our continent safe alongside the U.S. And the counter tariffs. If our argument to the U.S. administration is that Donald Trump's tariffs are hurting American families, the same argument holds true in the case of Canadian counter tariffs, as they hurt Canadian families and Canadian business. And so I've never been a fan of counter tariffs. I've always been a more focused on what can we do to get people to the table, keep them at the table, and hammer out that agreement.
Wow. You know what? This is the first time I hear some common sense. When you look at 75 to 76% of all our trade goes to the United States, and 20% of our GDP is from trade with the US, which is a significant amount, with 2 million people that rely on trade with the United States and Canada. Our number one trading partner. You would think that we would respect that relationship. Go down to Washington, D.C. and actually talk to them and make a deal happen. We can't just move away from this. Over time, we could build other trading relationships. But for now, we literally need to go down there and make a deal. And for all the people that were hoping that Mark Carney was skipping his summer holidays and he was in Washington, making sure that our livelihood is maintained and we all continue to live under shelter and still be able to pay for food, just the bare minimums, Mark Carney, that's all we're looking for. Well, he's out mingling and playing bocce.
Okay. I got to go first? You put the amateur first. Okay. Wow. That's a good one. That's it. I'm out. Thank you very much. I'm trying to emulate that. I'm trying to imitate it. This is my Italian. That is incredible. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Tony, pleasure. Rocco. Silvio. If she wanna go, she goes. She doesn't care. Joe. Oh, that was a good shot, though.
I'm not washing my hands. This is Felix.
That's Felix. Felix is a time traveler. Hi, how are you, Mark? I'm very well. We hold it together. Amazing.
I don't know about you, Canada, but I'd like to see our Prime Minister actually going down to Washington as opposed to a senior's home to play bocce. Is that too much to ask for? Juno News came out with Doug Ford urges federal conservatives to be more liberal. I actually had to read this like 4 or 5 times because I'm like, is this correct? Is this a typo? Ontario Premier Doug Ford is calling on federal Conservatives to avoid what he calls political extremes and embrace a middle-of-the-road approach to that blends progress and social values. This is unbelievable because the guy claims to be the #1 conservative, and it seems like every single day he's acting more and more liberal. Now he's telling the conservatives to just become liberal. Who remembers Doug Ford saying he was born with a C on his forehead?
When I was born, folks, the doctor came along and stamped the C on my forehead. Just like I'm sure my colleagues, no matter if it's Chrystia Freeland or Dominic LeBlanc, they're liberals, and that's fine. God bless them. I'm a conservative. I'll always be a conservative. Simple as that. And that's why our families voted all forever, before Moses. Moses was a conservative, maybe. I don't know.
Can you believe this? I think the C actually, I think he's confused. I think the C actually stands for something. Closet liberal. That's what he is. He's a closet liberal. I'm sure you could think of many things the C stands for, but I'm going to keep my channel at closet liberal. And here is my absolute favorite meme. It shouldn't even be a meme. This is like real life where he's ripping his conservative, yellow conservative shirt and underneath is his liberal shirt. You know where this meme came from? It was Javal Giovanni that posted it on his social media account. It got like hundreds of thousands of views. So good. Here's one of my other classic memes where he is in full red liberal outfit. Surprise, surprise. The Liberals are blocking investigation for this program. It's unbelievable. This type of thing is unacceptable. We need to take care of our people, but they don't want to take responsibility. Let's watch this.
There are calls for an investigation into a multi-million-dollar federal program meant to help Canadians seriously and permanently injured by vaccines. The Vaccine Injury Support Program was created by the Liberal government during the pandemic to provide financial support to those who are hurt. But many who have turned to the program say they've been waiting for months, sometimes years, to get a response. Now, as Carolyn Jarvis reports, MPs are demanding an emergency meeting to get to the bottom of it.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a slap in the face to every Canadian taxpayer.
The Vice Chair of the Federal Health Committee, Dan Mazur, is asking for an investigation into the Vaccine Injury Support Program. After Global News exposed allegations, the program is not providing the fair and timely access to financial help it promised.
People's lives are depending on this. This is an embarrassment.
Mazur and the 3 other Conservative MPs on the committee are requesting an emergency meeting. Mazur says the chair, Liberal Hedy Fry, has not responded. Fry's staff told Global News she is away and unavailable. The Public Health Agency of Canada hired a private company called Oxaro to operate the Vaccine Injury Support Program. New data shows it has paid Oxaro more than $54 million to run the program since it launched in 2021. Only a third of that, $18 million, has reached the injured. $36 million went to administrative costs. Today, 1,738 people are still waiting for their claim to be processed.
They have no clue what they're doing.
Laura Haight has been battling VISP for more than 3 years.
3.
She was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome following a flu vaccine, an extremely rare but documented side effect.
I thought this group would be actually, in my corner and advocating for me. Instead, I felt like I was an annoyance.
Her claim was denied, the medical board stating an infection was more likely to have caused the condition. She is appealing with the support of her doctor, who argues otherwise. Meantime, she's out more than $70,000 with no timeline for when her case may be decided.
Good.
The Guillain-Barré Syndrome Foundation says the program needs to be overhauled.
When a GBS patient finds themselves in the ICU, they need support, financial support and other supports within days or weeks, not months or years.
I think you've forgotten that there are people at the end of this line who have been damaged.
We again asked the federal health minister, Marjorie Michel, for an interview, but
just so people are aware, the major problem here is they put aside $58 million and only $17 million went to the actual people that needed it. The rest went to this company. And that's why I'm very concerned when we have all of these consultants working for the federal government. Way too many consultants. How much of that money is getting wasted? We're seeing story after story of complete waste with these consultants. Why don't we actually elect people that know what they're doing instead of giving it to consultants? We should probably take a look at this so you know who is responsible. The Minister of Health is Marjorie Michel right here. I think it's important to look at how much money our government spent last year on consultants. $20.7 billion on outsourcing contracts last fiscal year. And Mark Carney plans on doing even more. That's the thing. And after we see the last news press conference, and then also our Auditor General that says the procurement rules aren't followed, this should be troubling for Canadians. Let's go straight to the source. Elections Canada in regards to Battle River, Crowfoot, Alberta, Pierre Poilievre's by-election. We might as well go straight to the source so we get the live update. Get this. Nominations for candidates is open until July 28th. We're July 20th. That means there's still 8 more days for new candidates to be added to this list. And I have counted how many candidates are currently on the list. The last time I reported, there was 78. Today, there's a total of 109. This is unbelievable. It just goes on and on. 105 are from this longest ballot clown show. This is unacceptable. They want to make this 200 candidates, and they have 8 more days to fill out. How many candidates are they going to get to? Here is a video of one of the organizers of the longest ballot. He calls himself Rhinoceros.
Carleton, Ontario, we're gonna beat Pierre Poilievre by voting Rhinoceros because, you know, you have 91 candidates on the ballot. It's the longest ballot you never seen in the history of Canada. So please, people of Carleton, you see the riding behind me. It's a beautiful riding. You go to vote, and in case of doubt, they're all good. All the candidates very good. So you choose every one of them and you encourage every candidate and you vote for everyone. They're all good, and vote Rhino and everybody else. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Are you kidding me right now? So this guy, he says vote against Pierre Poilievre for any of the candidates, including himself, Rhino. And now they're going to do this new by-election, and they've already surpassed their 91 candidates for 109 as of today. I'm going to report an update on how many candidates. We're going to find out the final tally in 8 days. I thought this news article was interesting. Coca-Cola may swap high fructose corn syrup with cane sugar. Trump says that's a healthier choice. It tastes way better as well. Have you ever had Mexican Coca-Cola out of the bottle? It's the absolute best Coca-Cola. I don't even know what we're drinking in Canada. I actually go to Mexican restaurants just to order their Coke. It actually tastes good. So we should be doing this regardless. And if it's healthier, what are we waiting for? It's because they like to dump this high fructose corn syrup because it saves money. It's super cheap and it's not good for you. The National Post posted Canadian searches for real estate shows steep decline report. Well, I wonder why. Canadians aren't searching for real estate is not a shock and shouldn't be to anyone. The trade tensions is a culprit. Our Canadian dollar is worthless in the United States, and Canadians are also drowning in record debt. And let's not forget, you can't buy the American dream if you're stuck paying for Ottawa's nightmare. And for those of you that are wondering what the Bank of Canada is going to do at the end of the month, they have an interest rate announcement on July 30th. I told my audience weeks ago that the Bank of Canada was likely done cutting interest rates for now. Mainstream media today finally is catching up. And why would we not expect an interest rate cut? Well, first of all, the Bank of Canada, like I said, is on the 30th. Trump's new tariffs are on August 1st. So the Bank of Canada is not going to be moving again until they know how much pain these tariffs and counter tariffs will dump into the system. Yeah, their hands are tied right now. CTV News came out with this article, trying to sponsor your parents and grandparents to live in Canada? We want to hear from you. Hey, CTV, why don't you hear from the people that have lost their loved ones because there was 74,000 people that were on a wait list for our healthcare system? How about we ask those people what they think? These CTV is rage farming on the internet at this point. It's ridiculous. And here is the sentiment in the comment section. This says it all. Elections Canada actually charged a $1,000 deposit in order to run for office. The founder of the longest ballot committee went to court and argued June of 2017 that the $1,000 was discriminatory against ordinary citizens who couldn't afford it. The court actually ruled in its favor and as a result removed the deposit requirement. But now looking back and seeing what's happening right now, was this the right decision? I'm going to leave it to you in the comment section. What do you think about removing the $1,000 deposit? Because if it cost $1,000, do you think there would be 100+ candidates costing $100,000? How would they be able to raise this amount of money? The Toronto Police Department has released a photo of the 14-year-old suspect that is wanted for the 71-year-old situation where she was packing her car with groceries at 9:30 in the morning, which should have been a very safe situation. But one thing that I'm kind of scratching my head is if he's 14 years old, why are they releasing the photo of him to public? Remember when I said that the police department told us that everybody's safe? We don't have to worry. Well, since they released the photo of this 14-year-old, it leads me to believe that, in fact, we were not safe. And this is evidence of that. I saw a report that 42% of Canadians are $200 away from insolvency. This is not a great statistic, and we need to turn it around. Well, we just got this new National Post article that says, with the consumer carbon tax gone, Liberals still pursuing industrial carbon taxes. Do you honestly believe, where there's all these other countries around the world that don't have such a thing, that this is the right time to be imposing this when we're trying to bring back prosperity to this country? Honest question. How do we know that Mark Carney's not serious about turning around our economy, solving our relationship with the United States, and actually building this country back up? Well, there was a first ministers meeting where all the premiers came together and showed Mark Carney all of the shovel-ready projects that are of national interest. And out of that meeting, you would have expected at least 10 projects that were ready to go and move forwards immediately instead of going on summer holidays. Well, we just found out that there is no list of projects of national interest confirmed by Mark Carney. What are we doing in this country? Not even one. Imagine we just said we have one that we started. The progress in this country is zero. Check out this chart. The revenue that they've collected, the top 15 countries. France is number 1. Canada is number 2 globally for the collection of this. This is not accurate as of today. It's from 2023, the World Bank. But this just puts things into perspective. We still haven't removed the industrial base pricing system. So we're still way up there, guaranteed. That's it for today's report. How many candidates are going to be on the ballot in the by-election? I'd love to hear from you and let me know in the comment section. We're currently at 109. Are they going to get to the 200 mark? They have 8 more days. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I will see you tomorrow for the next report.